Hello, and welcome to the Gamer's Closet. I'm your host, Douglas Weed, and today we're going to be talking about Pit. Pit is a card game that was originally manufactured in 1903 and has had multiple publishers over the years, including Waddington Games, Hasbro, and the edition I have here, which is from the 1970s by Parker Brothers. The game itself is a set collection game and a trading game. The game runs for about 30 to 90 minutes, depending on how many players you have. It seats anywhere from 3 to 8 players and runs for ages 7 and up. But let's dig into it a little further, shall we? Pit is an open outcry commodity game. The first edition in 1903 had a deck of 63 cards, 9 of each card and 7 commodities. In 1904, they came out with a new edition that had much fancier artwork and the famous bull and bear cards, which provide wild card and penalty features. The early editions allowed a maximum of 7 players, but later versions supported 8 and at least one case up to 10. Pitt's designer was Edgar Cayce, who was an American self-professed clairvoyant and psychic who answered questions on subjects as varied as healing, reincarnation, dreams, the afterlife, the lost continent of Atlantis, and future events while in a self-induced sleep state. Cayce claimed his subconscious mind would explore the dream realm where all subconscious minds are timelessly connected. Cayce founded a nonprofit organization and Association for Research and Enlightenment to store and facilitate the study of the Cayce material. Cayce's supporters included a number of famous people such as President Woodrow Wilson, Thomas Edison, composer Irving Berlin, and George Gershwin. In his 2003 book, The Skeptic's Dictionary, philosopher and skeptic Robert Todd Carroll wrote, "Cayce is one of the main people responsible for some of the sillier notions about Atlantis." Cayce mentioned some of Cayce's ideas, including his belief in a giant solar crystal activated by the sun and used to harness the energy to provide power on Atlantis, and his prediction that in 1958 the United States would rediscover a death ray that had been used on Atlantis. The other thing of note about Cayce, he is often accused of having stolen the idea for the game of Pit from Gavitt Stock Exchange, invented by Harry Gavitt, and the game Bourse, which is remarkably similar, created by the Filch Card Company. Both games came out in 1903, but Pit seems to have cornered the market on open cry games, as neither of these two competitors were seen again after 1904. Parker Brothers has produced Pit from its initial inception in 1903 up until it was purchased by Hasbro in the early 2000s, and then it was picked up by Out of the Box Publishing in 2004 and currently holds the rights to said game. The game has been produced multiple times in multiple countries in multiple languages, from the Japanese version, Italian version, Nordic version, and so on. It has spawned multiple variations on the game and has created several different variations of theme games, including the Simpsons game pictured here. Depending on the edition of the game that you have, this game will come with multiple pieces. In the classic version of the game, it comes with 7 different commodities and a 65 card deck. In the later deluxe and 100th anniversary edition, it comes with 8 different commodities and a 74 card deck. Each version does come with either an orange or silver bell, depending on the version. The object of Pit is to corner the market on barley, corn, flocks, hay, oats, rye, and wheat by trading cards with other players. Pit can be played by 3 to 7 players. There are 9 cards in each suit. If 3 players play, use 3 complete suits. If 4 play, use 4 complete suits, and etc. Use the complete Pit deck for 7 players. To play the basic version, remove the bull and bear cards from the deck. Place the trading bell in the center of the table and select one player to shuffle the deck and deal out 9 cards to each player. The dealer should allow the players 30 seconds to sort their cards and decide mentally on what commodity, wheat, rye, oats, etc. they will attempt to corner. Players should try to corner the commodity of which they hold the most cards. When the cards have been sorted, the dealer strikes the bell and announces the exchange is open. Then any player may begin to trade cards with other players. To trade, take 1 to 4 cards of the same suit from your hand and hold the cards up so that the suits do not show and call out trade 1, 1, 1 or 2, 2, 2, etc., depending on the number of cards being traded. Players continue calling out the number of cards until they have been exchanged. If a player wishes to exchange cards with another player, they must call in return 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, etc. A trade an equal number of cards of the same suit with that player. If a player wishes to trade 3 or 4 cards and other players will only exchange lower numbers, they may drop their bid and trade the smaller number of cards. Trading continues until one player gets 9 cards of the same suit. That player must quickly ring the bell and call out corner on wheat, or whatever the commodity may be. The player then scores the amount marked on the commodity that they have cornered, wheat 100 points, oat 60 points, etc., and records this on the score pad. When a corner is won, all the cards are reshuffled and drawn by the last winner, and another corner is played for. This game is won by the first trader to get 500 points. Pit is a fast-moving game. Put energy into your bidding and trade as quickly as possible. Remember, as soon as the bell sounds, every player must begin trading from 1 to 4 cards of the same suit. 3 to 7 players are necessary to play the game using the bull and bear cards. If 3 play, use 3 complete suits. For each additional player, use an additional suit and discard all other cards. Add the bull and bear cards to the deck. Shuffle and deal. If 5 are playing, 3 players will receive 9 cards each and 2 players 10 cards each. Players try to get a corner on any 9 cards of one suit. However, players should note that the value and penalties attached to the bull and bear cards. If a player holds a bull or bear card when another player gets a corner, that player loses 20 points from their score. If they have no score, then they go into the negatives of 20 points for that round. If you have both cards, then you're penalized 40 points. Don't forget that it is dangerous to retain the bear card in your hand. Pass it and trade to a neighbor as soon as you can. If a player holds a bull card, they can call corner if they get 8 other cards instead of 9 of the same suit. This is called a bull corner. If a player gets 9 cards of the same suit and a bull card, it's called a double bull corner, which doubles the score of the commodity concerned. A player may also call out corner if they have 9 cards of one suit and 1 card of another suit by simply laying down the 9 cards of the one suit and discarding the 10th card. Trading is the same as in the regular game, but if, for example, a player wishes to trade 3 cards, they would call out 3, 3, 3. When the opponent returns his call, he would hand over 2 cards and the same suit and a bear card. If a player is not trading the bear card, all of the cards on the individual trade must be of the same suit. Here's a couple examples of how to score this game. If a player gets 9 wheat cards, they have a corner on wheat counting to 100 points. If a player gets 8 wheat cards and holds a bull card, they may call a bull corner on wheat and get 100 points. If they have 8 oat cards and a bull, they can make a bull corner on oats counting 60 points, etc. If a player gets all 9 wheat cards and holds a bull card besides, he calls double bull corner and gets 200 points. If they attain 9 oat cards and a bull card, then they have a double bull corner on oats, giving them 120 points. The game does come with an interesting rules variation, which is called the silent treatment. Once you have mastered the exciting bidding action of the game, you may like to try a version of the silent bidding used at an actual grain exchange. After verbal bidding has taken place in the pits, traders often use a series of hand signals to show an increase in their bids. A trader who is buying holds their palm of their hand towards them, and they're selling if the palm is away from them. Each individual finger motion indicates a fractional increase in the trader's bid. Try using the silent approach to playing pit by indicating the number of cards you wish to play by using hand signals. For example, if you wish to trade 1 card, hold up 1 finger, 2 cards, 2 fingers, etc. This approach will be appreciated by your neighbors for late night playing. Well, this has been an overview of Pit. Pit is a pretty decent basic game. It's a good family-friendly oriented game. It's great with kids. It's a good way to teach bidding and how to build sets and keep track of numbers and figures. So it's a great learning game. The game, like I said, has been around for over 100 years, so it is a well-established game. If you haven't played Pit before, it has a nice, easy learning curve on it. It has a very basic set of cards, so there's not a lot of rules to get in the way, plus you can play the different variations like I've just covered here. The game itself goes online anywhere from about $5 and up, so it is really easy to get a copy of it. It's still in print today, and if you haven't played Pit before, I would recommend playing this game. Well, that's it from us at the Gamers Closet. We'd like to thank you for checking out our video on Pit from Parker Brother Games. If there's a game in the future you'd like us to review and go over, please put it in the comments below. Please hit subscribe so that way you can be the first to check out our future content. And as always, please have a great gaming day.